We got some good replies to the last video and a lot of criticisms. The main criticisms were not enough pictures, not enough details, and not enough charts. And I covered 2,000 miles in 10 minutes. So we're going to endeavour now to improve it and give you a lot more information. So let's try. This is the first part of South Australia, starting in Adelaide. I started here in the Adelaide River and worked my way out through the river, and here's the start point here. From then on, I went straight across to Edithburgh. First steam. Straight into Edithburgh here. Stayed the night. Now here's Edithburgh. It's a little anchorage in the middle here. It's shallow right in against the beach, and it blew its ass off all night south-east. It was really uncomfortable for the first night out. From then on I went through the channel here, out through the channel, inside Trowbridge Shoals, and then straight over to the next anchorage. Now bear in mind, I'd never been to these places before, so I went to Point Devonport and anchored there the night. I'm on my way to Port Lincoln, but these are the anchorages I anchored in here. I actually anchored right there at Port Devonport for the night. This line here is just a rough line, actually, basically where I went. Then I headed for Althorpe Island, because someone said Althorpe Island is a lovely place if the wind's good. So as it turned out, here's Althorpe Island here. As it turned out, it was an absolutely beautiful place, and I anchored just inside the reef here. Here's the wharf. I got my dinghy out, went on the wharf and went up on top of the lighthouse where I took my photographs. You'll see the photographs and you'll see the chart of Althorpe Island. It was a lovely anchorage, but in the night it went more southerly, quite hard, and the slop came around the corner and it got a bit rolly. So the next morning I departed, and I went up through Wedge Island. All these reefs here break, the whole lot of them, heavy break. Ems Reef's obviously the heaviest, but it breaks all the way through there, especially in heavy weather. When I went through it was all breaking, and I went up to Wedge. Now Wedge, I went straight through Wedge, but there's a lovely anchorage just here, just on this side of the reef, which I went to 3 years later. Then I went up to Whalers Bay. Now Whalers Bay. Now here's a lovely anchorage. I met a bloke in there called Graham Tapley, who lives on the island. He had a purseiner in there. That's the first time I struck people that were being nice to me, because I anchored my boat outside this big steel purseiner. Next minute this aluminium dinghy comes flying alongside me, and it was a guy called Graham Tapley. And the first words he said to me was, "That mooring in front of my boat is my one, you can have it." Didn't even ask who I was. So you had to come on board and had a couple of beers, and I stayed on the anchor as it turned out. And the next morning I headed up to Port Lincoln, and because Port Lincoln is where I got a lot of friends. That's the end of the video. I've tried to do it really quickly because I didn't have a lot of time, but if you need to have a look or good look at it, just subscribe to Kolesnikov Productions and you'll be able to see it all. And it's just a rough guide and all my photographs of what I've taken and other people's photographs of where I've been. An interesting journey about how great Australia really is. So thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.